Viewers, the moment Bharatvarsh has waited for is here. After an exile of 500 years, imagine that, 500 years, on account of persecution and subterfuge by the enemies of Sanatan Dharma, Ram Lalla is Virajman in the sanctum of his birth. A struggle, emotional, legal and socio-political, by members of the VHP, Sangh Parivar and hundreds of thousands of Kar Sevaks has ensured Ram's Griha Vapsi. The idol, which has been the subject of immense curiosity and regrettably subjected to slander by some opposition leaders, stands unveiled at 51 inches in height, viewers. It's a Syam Varna or dark complexion idol sculpted in the Krishna Shila by a Mysuru-based sculptor. We all know these facts now, they were well publicized. But from the glimpse we have obtained, one has to say that it couldn't have been a more perfect ode in stone to Bharat's Maryada Purushottam Ram. Look at the beautiful lines of that glorious replica of Ram Lalla. 51 inches, viewers. 51 inches that is going to light up the lives of a large number of bhakts. Yes, viewers, the facts are there on your screen. I've already talked you through some of these facts. But let me tell you, viewers, that the installation will not be complete till the Pran Pratishtha is complete. The Arani Manthan Puja has been held inside the Ram temple today, but the Pran Pratishtha will be on January 22nd. Already, viewers, in advance of that, Chief Minister Yogi has visited the Hanuman Gadi. He's reviewed the preparedness. Millions of people are going to follow after January 22nd. Many Indians will go there. And the place must be ready, viewers, to accommodate them. But this glorious moment, viewers, almost never was, almost never dawned. For most of the 500 years, the Hindus were subjugated under different settlers and were too subjugated to reclaim what was their most cherished civilizational totem. And after independence, a whole ecosystem collaborated to shut out justice for Hindu believers. Nehru's leftist Congress even going to the extent of labeling Ram Bhaks as Hindu reactionaries drunk on the poison of chauvinism. Congress leaders even took up cudgels in court for Muslim custodians of the Babri Masjid that was built atop the Ram Janambhoomi. But while the truth can be buried, it has a habit, viewers, of emerging. And the Supreme Court finally saw the truth after one of the longest judicial battles in India's recent history. This is what the Supreme Court said, viewers, in its judgment. These were some of the keys that set the precedent. It said the ASI findings support the fact that the Babri Masjid was not built on vacant land, viewers. The structure underlining the disputed structure, i.e. the Babri Masjid, was not Islamic. That was rubber stamped by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court also said that the Muslim custodians of the Babri Masjid haven't shown evidence of possession. No evidence that the possession of land was exclusive to Muslims and in their continuous possession. Travelers provided a detailed account, said the Supreme Court, of continuous Hindu worship of this very crucial Karma Bhumi. viewers, for Hindus. Today, viewers, the glow of justice has lit up Ayodhya. You can see those pictures, viewers. The glorious jyotis, there you can see them. A metaphor for justice, the hope that flows from justice. The precedent set by the topmost court of the land has the power to ignite hope among other bhaks, viewers. Yes, today the Ram bhaks can take solace, but Krishna and Shiva bhaks wait. Nandi has waited for even longer in the forlorn hope of being united with Lord Shiva at the Gyanvapi complex in Kashi. And hundreds of thousands of Krishna bhaks in Mathura are convinced that their time has come. Both the matters with respect to Kashi and Mathura are pending in courts. We don't know how long they could languish there, viewers. We know that for 70 odd years in the history of independent India, the Ayodhya issue languished. Much before that too. If you go back, viewers, to the time under British occupation of India. Now, viewers, Krishna bhaks wait. The verdict could take years, and I'm just running you through the status. Viewers, let's look at the Gyanvapi Kashi Vishwanath issue. The ASI survey has been done, the report has been submitted. On the other hand, in the Krishna Janambhoomi case, the Supreme Court has paused the survey by local commissioners. Viewers, again in the Gyanvapi Kashi Vishwanath case, shivling-like structure has been found inside. That is what is being said. The Krishna Bhumi matter, dozen pleas are pending before the Allahabad High Court to allow for the survey to go through, etc., etc. Now, viewers, Hindus have done the right thing by eschewing extrajudicial means to resolve the tangle of history. We remember what happened in the aftermath of the Babri Masjid. So no one wants to go there. Most Hindus have renounced that path. One would think that in a democracy, the move to involve the courts instead would have been welcomed. But that is sadly not the case. Even the Supreme Court's five-judge bench unanimous verdict on Ayodhya became a tool in the hands of some to fan disaffection. Here's what they said, viewers. Asaduddin Owaisi, AMM chief, said SC is supreme but not infallible. And he went on to, of course, impute some motives also. Brinda Karat said serious issues in the verdict that can't be overlooked. VCK leader, viewers, said that the faith in the Supreme Court is shattered. Zafaryab Jilani, UP Sunni Waqf Board, one of those impleaded in this matter, said judgment is not satisfactory, it's very unjust. The response to the Ayodhya judgment is also to the Pran Pratishtha that is going to happen on January 22nd, viewers. The bellicose response seems to indicate that for a section of the polity, Hindus must renounce their religious rights for India to retain its secular character. Then Hindus who demand religious parity are fundamentalists, that somehow the onus is exclusively upon Hindus to maintain the communal peace in this country. Viewers, let's open this up. Let's ask some basic piercing questions tonight. And I want to begin first with Vishnu Shankar Jain. Vishnu Shankar Jain, you are now a very popular figure across the length and breadth of this country because you stand at the apex of the movement in court so that Hindus can reclaim their religious rights. But you are accused of being a Hindu fundamentalist because you have chosen to challenge the occupation of certain Hindu religious sites. How do you react to this charge that is made against you?
See, Rahul, I would like to say that first of all, Ram Mandir is not the culmination, it's just the beginning. And to your question, I would answer by saying that wherever we are finding facts and figures, wherever we are finding data, wherever we are finding good, strong research, there we are filing cases. If you would have analyzed my entire fight My fight is for those places where we are getting proofs that a temple has been demolished and a mosque has been constructed. For example, in Gyanvapi in 1670, Aurangzeb's Farman is there, where Aurangzeb has himself said that yes, I have demolished the temple. His orders are there documented in Majlis-e-Alamgiri. In Krishna Janmabhoomi case, his documents, his Farmans, his orders are documented in Majlis-e-Alamgiri, which has been translated by Jaduna Sarkar at page 95 and 96. So it is not about going one by, we are going very clinically, very professionally, one by one for each and every place of worship, which is very, very significant to us, which is very, very important to us, which has lot of Shastric Mahatva and meaning, and therefore after gathering all the data and evidences and research, we are filing these cases in the courts of law. Yes.
Of course, many people won't be satisfied because they weren't satisfied after even the Supreme Court, in all its wisdom, unanimously pronounced that the Ram Janam Bhoomi must be handed to the Hindu side and that a temple must be built. It even set aside 5 acres for Muslims to construct a grand mosque within Ayodhya, but Vishnu Shankar Jain, many people still pick holes. Now, they say that you cannot use the Ayodhya precedent to fight for Kashi and Mathura. How do you respond to them?
See, very, very important, and I would very humbly disagree. Ayodhya is a precedent. The judgment delivered by Supreme Court 5 judges bench 2021 SCC page 1 is a precedent for all of us. And why it is a precedent, let me tell you and give some points, Rahul. In the judgment passed by the Supreme Court in Ram Mandir case, the Supreme Court has held that Hindu deity is a juristic entity. It has a right to sue and can be sued. And it has also held that even after demolition of an idol, the pious purpose to make that idol does not extinguish, and that pious purpose जो एक पवित्र संकल्प होता है मंदिर बनाने का, मूर्ति बनाने का, उसकी लीगल वैल्यू होती है. इट हैज अ लीगल सैंक्टिटी एंड अ लीगल वैल्यू. दिस इज द जजमेंट ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. द सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज आल्सो सेड दैट फॉर 325 years the UP Sunni Central Waqf Board had no possession, no documents to show any proof of possession over the so-called Babri Mosque. The Supreme Court has also held that there is no theory of Waqf by user. The Supreme Court has also held in this case that UP Sunni Central Waqf Board asked that they have perfected their title by adverse possession was also rejected by the Supreme Court, and law of adverse possession was laid down by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has also appreciated the report of Archaeological Survey of India, and this case is a precedent. If you talk about Archaeological Survey of India, it is a precedent. If you talk about appreciation of evidence, so far as traveller accounts are concerned, it's a precedent by virtue of section 57 of Indian Evidences, which has been appreciated by the Supreme Court. If you will go through the historical and gazetteers, the Supreme Court has gone into history, and it is a precedent. And let me tell you, Rahul, very I can say very strongly on your channel, I want to say that in Jerusalem, the 3 Abrahamic religions are fighting for 35 acres of land. No country in this entire world or no court in this entire world has been able to solve that dispute. It is the power of the Indian judiciary, that the Indian judiciary had the capability to solve such kind of civilizational battles. So definitely the judgment of the Supreme Court is a precedent for such kind of litigations and for many more such kind of litigations which are in the pipeline.
Okay, so you're following what you're saying is a precedent. You are not taking the law into your own hands. You are not trying to use violence or intimidation outside of the legal process to stymie anybody. You are doing it by the book. Okay, let's bring in Mr. Touseef Ahmed Khan also. You're a lawyer also, Mr. Touseef Khan, but why am I constantly hearing from those who have a problem perhaps with the politics of a particular dispensation? Why are they constantly suggesting that the courts are playing a partisan role? And why are motives being ascribed to the courts? It's a very transparent process. The arguments took place in open court before many thousands, hundreds and thousands of people. They took place almost on a daily basis. The evidence is there for anyone to peruse. The judgments are there for anyone to peruse. So why yes, exactly. So why constantly ascribe motives to the court and undermine the majesty of the court and alienate Muslims and others?
Rahul, for about 30 seconds I had lost the connection, but for the past 10-20 seconds I heard what you were saying. So I will answer that. You see, not very long ago, for about couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, the Chief Justice of India, along with other senior judges, had called a press conference and told the people of India that all is not well in the highest court of the country. So that is from the judiciary only, that they had alerted the people of India that something is wrong in the judiciary. And that was 5 years ago. And now just recently, 2-3 days ago, one of the Supreme Court judge, Justice Abhay S. Oka, he also said during the lecture that the faith of the common man in the judiciary has eroded considerably. We will have to see where we have gone wrong. So, you know, I don't know if you're talking about something wrong in the judiciary, and where is that coming from, as if there is some kind of conspiracy theory behind it, then maybe you are pointing to the judges, because the judges themselves are saying it, acknowledging it, and it has happened time and again. So I don't see really anyone, even in your news channel, if someone tries to play victim and say, oh, why attack judiciary, why blame judiciary. You see, even judiciary is fallible. But the Supreme Court is the highest. Order of the Supreme Court is binding on everyone. But no one can say that judiciary cannot err. Now, if we are talking about the judgment of the judgment delivered by the court in the Babri Masjid case, in the Ram Janambhoomi land dispute, so the act of demolition the mosque was held to be criminal, and the Supreme Court said that there is no proof that the structure found beneath the mosque, it was undoubtedly an old structure, but it was not a temple. There's no proof about that. So that's all that the people is concerned. No one is opposing the construction of a Ram temple. People have never, even in the Ayodhya, the local community are participating in the event. They have not opposed the construction of a Ram temple per se.
Okay.
But this whole case was always, why demonize this community? Why put a blame game? Why tell lies that there was a temple beneath the
Let
mosque?
me get Vishnu Jain to respond to you. He's raising his hand.
This hatred.
And Mr. Iyer comes in also.
SIA said so.
Yes. What? Vishnu Jain? Yes. Make your point, please. Vishnu Jain?
I just wanted to say, Rahul, your question was that why you are against this system of Indian judiciary, and my friend went to answer something else. The point is this, Rahul, why, and let me tell you why they are against the Indian judiciary. Because the point is that we are proving each and every fact before the court of law, and they know the case of Kashi and Mathura and many more which are in pipeline. They will be exposed before the court, because let me tell you, Rahul, if you must read the statement of Mr. Yasin, who is the secretary of Anjuman Intizamiya. He said हमें court पे विश्वास नहीं है, और मैं बताना चाहता हूँ, Rahul, when the judgment of the court was passed appointing advocate commissioner, who said that सब लोग आ जाओ रोड पे, और सड़कों में 50-60 हजार मुसलमान आ गए थे? Who went against the order of the court and chose the path of violence? It was the Anjuman Intizamiya who chose the path of violence, and they came and demonstrated against the court order. They stopped the advocate commissioner from entering into Gyanvapi mosque. Said, please correct your facts. So it is not that when we are following everything by book, then you have to also follow the book, and then you cannot say that no, we will not follow the book. In Krishna Janmabhoomi case, we got a survey order from the Honorable Allahabad High Court, and Rahul, let me tell you, the Honorable Supreme Court has stayed the order of the Allahabad High Court, and we are patiently waiting for our turn on 29 January to get the stay order vacated. So everything we are following. In Ram Mandir case, for 69 years, Rahul, we have waited for justice. So it's not that we have been very patient with the Honorable Court, and we have always followed law by its book.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Mitra. Mr. Mitra, you were raising your hand. You wanted to make a point. Make your point, and then I'll ask you a question that I was intending to ask you. Yes.
See, Rahul, there was something very funny that Touseef said at the end, that there was no temple below it. It has clearly been proven. If you read the judgment, it has been clearly proven that there was a temple right there. Do you know all the people that the so-called Muslim representatives brought out? If you read the judgment, इनकी कितनी बुरी तरह से पैंट उतारी गई है कोर्ट में, you will only know when you read the judgment. Do you know the people that they produced to counter this thing saying that there wasn't a temple did not know Sanskrit, did not know archaeology, did not know anything. They had opinions on everything. Their source, they had no primary sources. It was all newspaper clippings of who their guru, Sishya, whatever had written. People like Romila Thapar and all those people had written. It was all secondary source, this thing. And unfortunately, Touseef is repeating the same mistakes that all of them did before this. See, there is absolutely no doubt in anybody's mind. In the case of Kashi Vishwanath, you just go behind the mosque and look at what is it is there for everybody to see. You don't even need an investigation out there.
Okay, so one second. So one second. Let me ask you then. Yes, no, Mr. Iyer, let me ask you. Look, fine. These people now have started gunning for the courts, suggesting that there is something very rotten in the state of Denmark, to paraphrase, Shakespeare. But let me ask you this. Fine, you've started that, but you've also vitiated the basic movement by suggesting that the people who were leading the movement were not doing it out of any sense of pride and ownership, but were doing it only to consolidate Hindu votes. And they're talking about, obviously, some of the luminaries from the VHP and the Sangh Parivar. So they are only out. So you're discrediting the movement, these politicians and others and leaders and dharam gurus who are championing a public cause, and then you're also discrediting the courts. Now that seems to be, a zero-sum game. How do we resolve these issues then?
Look, Rahul, there is no way of resolving it except through the ballot box. And these people have been soundly rejected at the ballot box because these people are nihilists. First, they question the evidence. Then when the evidence is completely held up by the Supreme Court, then they question the judiciary. When the judiciary, the allegations against the judiciary don't stick, then they question the motives. Before 2019, the thing was, why aren't you? I can show you videos, Miss Sakshi Joshi, Mr. Kanhaiya Kumar, all their youth icons going and saying, oh, they're not going to build the temple because they want to keep this alive. Now it is built, so it is no longer a political issue anymore. So what are they questioning the motives about? Where is this a political motive? Rahul, understand, I am an atheist, but I will celebrate this because this is my cultural renaissance happening. This is not my religion, this is my culture. This is not a religious event, it is a national event. It is a national celebration. It is a reinstatement of Indian national pride. This is so much bigger than religion. We are a cultural, we are a civilizational state. And I just want to use this opportunity to salute my friend Mr. Jain here and his other Jain sister Meenakshi Jain, who were crucial in getting these judgments for us through facts. No rhetoric. They never sought any publicity. Okay, nothing. So I've never seen more self-effacing people than the man sitting here on the panel and Meenakshi Jain.
So let me ask you then, let me go back to Mr. Touseef Khan. Mr. Touseef Khan, we've lost Mr. Hassan of the MIM. I don't know what has happened there, but we've lost him. Hopefully he'll be connected. But let me ask you, look, fine, you seem to be finding fault, picking some sort of, or splitting hair with the Supreme Court on certain issues. You have a problem with the leaders of the movement for the reclamation of Hindu sites. So then, why don't you engage in a different approach? Perhaps then the Muslim community should say, okay, Hindus, come tell us what are the 2 or 3 things, sites which are of critical importance to you. Let's sit down. Let us hand them over to you. Let's have a mediated settlement. I mean, why aren't we even seeing that?
No. On the one hand, you, I'm not mean, when I say you, I don't mean to say you, I mean to say people like Mr. Jain and Mr. Mitra. Uh, if we sideline judiciary, they will say, oh, you don't believe in judiciary. And if we wait for judiciary and a judiciary passes a judgment and they say, oh, you're not following the process. So you see, I think community, I mean Muslim community, I mean, what do you expect from them? If there is a dispute, if there is a court, then court will decide it. And when you say that they are criticizing, then please say openly what you say. I mean, on TV just now you're saying, oh, they are criticizing court.
Mr. Khan,
I only quoted
what I'm asking is
what the judges are
it's
saying.
Clearly, it's
judges
clear
are criticizing the
judges are not criticizing.
It's not any community who is criticizing.
Okay. Judges are criticizing. He says, respond to that, Mr. Iyer. You were raising your hand, and I'll bring Vishnu Shankar Jain after that. Yes.
Right. So you see, the point is very simple. Like in Mahabharata, the Pandavas asked for 5 villages. We only asked for 3 temples. The entire north was denuded of temples. We only asked for the 3 temples that we have concrete.
Are you threatening? Are you threatening?
Number 2, please remember, silence is acquiescence. Okay. In all the falsehoods that were spread in court, in all the vicious propaganda, malicious propaganda that was spread, why were people like Touseef silent? Did they ever put up a hashtag? Not this is not my fight. No, he believes, he himself is saying, he's saying us. He himself is making it a community issue. Am I making it a community issue? Is Vishnu making it a community issue? No.
Okay, Vishnu Shankar Jain.
You have one very easy way of disassociating yourself from this.
Okay.
Just say right now on the program that if archaeological evidence is found, then Kashi and Mathura should be made into temples.
Okay.
Nobody's blaming
Rahul, I
you.
want to give certain hard facts.
Okay, 1 second. I'll come to you. Just this is a very good question that has been posed by Mr. Iyer-Mitra. Sir, if archaeological evidence turns up tomorrow that Vishnu Shankar Jain has been pushing for a survey of the ASI survey, and if that result comes out and says there are Hindu symbols that relate to a Mahadev temple as well as a Krishna Bhumi temple, etc., will you hand back these parcels of land? Simple question to you, Mr. Khan.
I think it's so absurd and very idiotic. It's very idiotic of Mr. Mitra. And in fact, Mr. Mitra अपने पैंट खुद ही खोल रहे हैं. So he thinks that he is the judge. He thinks that I am the lawyer, and I don't know who he holds brief for and who I hold brief for.
Ask you any of that. I just said your personal
this decision is not going to be decided by you and me on a TV channel.
No, but sir,
and stop threatening. What was he saying? He was saying that 5 गांव मांगा था पांडव ने, उन्होंने इनकार कर दिया, and see what happened.
Okay,
and
Vishnu Shankar Jain wants to
come. You are asking for 3 temples. There is a
Touseef
law.
Ahmed Khan, the matters are now before the courts. 1 second.
No, he is talking about a law passed by the parliament which says that Places of Worship Act which prohibits that.
Okay, let me bring in Vishnu Shankar Jain on that point. Vishnu Shankar Jain. Ayodhya cannot be a precedent. Okay, 1 second.
Might is right.
ठीक है सर, मेरी बात तो सुनो.
You are in majority. You go and you write a letter to BJP. BJP will change the law, bring a law in parliament. Do whatever you want. But do it at your own credit.
Right.
Do it at your own name. Don't play a victim.
And
don't spread hatred. That is what I'm saying.
No one is spreading hatred, sir. The matter is before
change the law.
1 second. I'll have to lower your fader. You're just going on and on speaking, Mr. Khan. Let the other person also respond. Can he not hear me or something? Is there something wrong with my audio or something? Can't he hear what I'm saying? First of all, viewers, no one is spreading hate. The challenge of the Places of Worship Act is before the Supreme Court. That's not an act of spreading hate. That is a test of whether the law is robust or not. Legally, number one. Valid or not, yes. So, Vishnu ji, I just want to ask you this question. If it is of no consequence, the ASI report to anybody, why are you pushing for it? Clearly, these people are saying, Mr. Touseef Khan and some of his cohorts are saying that it doesn't matter to us what the ASI pulls out.
See, if ASI report, and And I'll give you hard facts.
Okay.
If ASI report is not mattering to them, who went to the court and asked for a gag order? When 92 days का सर्वे हो रहा था राहुल, ये लोग गए, अंजुमन इंतजामिया गई कोर्ट और कहा कि जो सर्वे में हो रहा है वो किसी को ना बताया जाए. And today because of the gag order, I cannot tell you on your channel what we have found in 92 days survey. If I will tell you, it will be shocking for the entire country. And the ASI report will open before the Honorable Court on 24th of January. After some days, and the truth will come out that what the ASI has found in 92 days survey. And Rahul, let me also tell you that we are very, very patiently contesting the cases in the courts of law. Kindly appreciate our struggle, Rahul. In 1991, in Gyanvapi case, the first civil suit was filed. For 32 years, the matter was pending before the lower court and the high court on a small technicality that whether the suit is barred by Places of Worship Act or not.
Okay.
Recently, the Allahabad High Court cleared that verdict on lot of endeavors. In Gyanvapi case, another litigation which we fought from lower court till the Supreme Court. If you remember, we fought for an ASI survey. If you remember, in Gyanvapi case, the Honorable Allahabad High Court ordered for ASI survey of the Vazu tank where Shivlingam was found. The Anjuman Intizamiya went to the Supreme Court and said that no, it should be stayed. So it's a very, if you will see our patience and our struggle in Kashi case and in Mathura case, we have been very, very patient, and this entire community, this entire civilization is waiting for justice. We want that whatever has been done in the past by the sword must be rectified by the pen, and a message must be given to the entire world that pen is mightier than the sword. Rahul, let me tell you that in Jerusalem, the 35 acres of land is there too. So many communities are fighting, but they have not been able to solve that dispute. But we have been able to solve that dispute. Indian judiciary has been able to solve that dispute.
So let me ask
Sir,
you,
I am
Vishnu
talking
Shankar
to you
Jain,
and I am speaking to you very,
one second, let me ask
in a
you.
lot of proper manner, so you should also have that courtesy.
Touseef Khan has made it clear that ASI surveys, etc., can be trashed. Now, viewers, that is not a constructive approach, because Vishnu Shankar Jain is not standing there with a gadha outside, these various Gyanvapi mosque complex, etc., beating down people. He is not doing that. He is actually going to the courts so that the courts can bring the hammer down on the anvil of injustice. That's what he is doing. And he's saying that I want to prove that the pen is mightier than the sword, which is a very civilized approach. But I want to ask you a fundamental question, Vishnu Shankar Jain. Many people are listening to this debate. Now, if Ayodhya is a precedent, precedents usually apply in like-for-like matters. What are the similarities between the Ayodhya dispute and the dispute that you are representing and fighting the Hindu community on the behalf of the Hindu community in Kashi and Mathura, for example? What are the similarities?
Very good question you have asked, Rahul. And the first similarity is that in all these places there is heavy documentary evidence that it was a pre-existing temple. In all these places, in Ram Mandir, in Kashi and in Mathura, there is a complete evidence of demolition of a temple. In Ram Mandir, in Kashi and Mathura, when ASI survey is done, in Ram Mandir it was done, lot of evidences of temple were found, and when it will be opened in Kashi and when it will be done in Mathura, all these evidences will be found. Then apart from that, if you will see the travel accounts, in Ram Mandir case also there were travelers who visited the site and they gave a report that yes, the Hindus are worshipping the site in question. Same thing has happened in Gyanvapi and Mathura also. So the similarity is that all the three places are very, very sacred to us. Our civilizational issues are the mother of the civilization, are the cradle of the civilization. It is very, very core and important to all the Sanatanis. It's the similarity in Gyanvapi, Kashi and Mathura, and apart from that, clinching evidence is there, Rahul. I am saying it very strongly on your channel. Clinching evidence is there that a temple was demolished and there was a pre-existing temple and nothing much has been done. Only an existing structure of a temple has been partially demolished and it has been converted into a mosque. This is the similarity in Kashi, Mathura and Ram Mandir.
Very quickly, Mr. Iyer-Mitra, given the reaction to the Ayodhya verdict, I want to ask you now, are courts the best way of approaching this? Because there's always going to be one side that ends up not happy. What do you do?
Look, we are a constitutional democracy. Things have to be done constitutionally. Okay. We are not a community that goes and starts rioting every time somebody says something, right? We go through courts. And there are constitutional means available. Everything that is done on our temples will be done constitutionally and legally, and that is about it. Okay, violence has never been a tool of political negotiation for the Hindu community. Full stop. It will be done legally, it will all be above board.
And that was pretty much clear, viewers. That was pretty much clear after the manner in which those who did indulge in violence and brought down the Babri Masjid came out and resiled from those violent acts. L.K. Advani himself in his autobiography and at that particular time came out and said that it was not something that he identified with. And since then, viewers, the courts have had the last word. And let's hope that that continues. We have to accept the word of the law at some point or the other. We cannot continuously lead. And I would really urge some of our friends from or those who are representing the Muslim side to hear what Ashwin Sanghi had said yesterday on this show, viewers. He gave some advice, unsolicited, yes it was, to the minority community. Perhaps his very reasonable advice could become a template for further action. Otherwise, viewers, yes, the lamp of justice is lighting up Ayodhya, but the light will not shine on other sacred spaces, viewers. Let me tell you. And that is a worrying